All right, we should be going live right now, I think. There we go. We are live for another installment of KloobySnack. This is a special start time. It's Thanksgiving weekend here in the United States, and Abby has been in town and is getting ready to leave on a plane back to New York later tonight at the normally scheduled 8 p.m. time. So we're doing it at 10 a.m. Abby, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
I don't know what kind of work you're getting right now. It seems like there's interference. I don't see motion on your video, but hopefully it's going out there streaming just fine to the public. Yeah, I just saw the spinning wheel. But we're in, this is week number 40.
Okay. I wish I had a book on me. I don't. I wasn't anticipating it to just be me. It is currently the 48th week of KloobySnack, which is really weird because there's only 52.
All right.
Oh,
Hopefully I'm back. Abby, are you there?
I told you it's not my Wi-Fi, it's yours.
Well, hey, yeah, I'm just, yeah, maybe we're getting caught up. Hopefully we were rolling the whole time. All right, let me reset. Hello, everyone. Another next. This is week number 4.com/KloobySnack48. Abby, what kind of, since coming home for the first time, Thanksgiving, how has it been?
Yeah, it's been really good to be back. The weather switch is really nice because it's getting really cold in New York now, so it's nice to be in the sun, and to go outside and not actually freeze, and to see all my friends again. It's really nice, seeing people that I haven't seen in months, but the connection's still there, and it's all goes back to normal. That's been really nice, and just being home and also having alone time because you don't really have that at all. When I'm at school, I have no downtime or alone time to just be. So it's really nice. I went to the beach by myself twice this week just to be, and it was really nice. So I missed that, but I am going back today. I'm excited to see my friends and everything, but it's gonna be cold.
Yeah, well, I think it's a special time. Of course, I'm teaching classes. I've got 88 freshmen in my classes this semester, and I reflect always on my first visit home, not at my parents' house where I was going every other weekend to do laundry and deliver pizzas to make money, but it was when I visited my grandmother's house during Thanksgiving break. That's when it hit me oh my God, childhood, we can't put it back in the bottle, or the tube doesn't go back in the toothpaste. Time rolls on and everything keeps progressing. And so I just remember Thanksgiving break being a huge icon of that, and how emotional it was for me to look at the streets and see how much smaller they got, or to really pay attention to the smells in the home when the food was being cooked, or to see the aging on my grandmother's face, and to realize, oh my God, I'm an adult, I'm not getting any younger, this is going to keep going. I just think it's a special time. And so I wanted to ask you about that a little bit. Are you ready to rock and roll with KloobySnack number 48?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, by now everybody should know. By now everyone should know that we are dividing the 52 KloobySnacks into 4 baker's dozens. So we started the year with loving flavored, then we moved on to ego flavored, then discipline flavored, and now we're in integrity flavored. It's a little bit of a through line to what I do professionally. I'm author and founder of the Integrity Game, the 10-point model that allows me to do keynotes and workshops and coaching and consulting and training, etc. It's the brand. So we've got a little bit of a connection between what I do personally and professionally. I want to be a great dad. I want to be a great speaker, author, coach, trainer, etc. So a review of the snacks we've covered so far in this section, starting with number 39. No, actually starting with number 40 was the first snack in this section. Behavior is the evidence of our integrity. And then number 41, honesty is a strategy, a lie is a tactic. 42, accountability will always feel like an attack when we're not ready to be 100% responsible for our own behavior. 43, we're never guilty of ignorance, but we are always guilty when willfully ignorant. 44, critical thinking creates ideas, strategic thinking makes them work. 45, never let the possibility of not achieving your goal prevent you from pursuing your goal. Little note right here, this one is clearly about goal setting. Today's snack is as well. So there's a couple pieces of KloobySnacks, really, a couple crumbs that are about goal setting specifically. So I'm going to elaborate a little bit on how important that is, especially in the framework of the integrity game model. But moving on, in our review, KloobySnack number 46, if you don't know your purpose, how can you ever know what anything is really worth? We're going to be able to see where purpose exists on the 10-point model as well. And then last week, we got to many people say they have to, and truthfully, they choose to. So this is related to like being careful about our words, and our words being a window through which we can see what's going on for somebody in their mind and their heart and their emotions, etc. So that gets us all the way up to number 48, this week's snack. Are you ready, Abby?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're
Yeah.
frozen.
Any comments or questions about the review of snacks? Any comments or questions about the review of snacks so far before we proceed?
Nope.
You're like, nope. All right. As always, I'm going to put up the banner and then I'll screen share so you could do the read. But like I previewed, this week's KloobySnack is relative to goal setting. Again, it has us focus on a different aspect of goal setting. There we go, KloobySnacks. But it goes a little something like this. Many people confuse a goal with a hope, a wish, or a dream. You ready, Abby?
Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry. I'm reading it from your screen because I don't have a book. We all want things. Everybody has things that they want to happen, but there are two ways people commonly go about the things they want. Some people are the make it happeners. Those are the people who label their wants as goals. Other people are the want it to happeners, the ones who label their wants as hopes and wishes. Those people are too scared to truly want something. Setting goals poses the possibility of not achieving or completing them, which causes people to be too scared to create goals in the first place. Labeling something as a wish doesn't come with any need for plans, effort, or sacrifice. People are too scared to want anything. The other type of person who labels their wants as wishes is the person who doesn't know how to make it happen. Some people choose not to achieve. Other people simply don't know. There you go. So other people simply don't know how to get where they want to go. A lack of connection, resources, funds, or plans can cause people's goals to die out, dimming to simply a wish. Those people need to befriend or hire the make it happeners who will carry that wish to the finish line or goal post, pun intended.
All right.
Funny.
That's it. So again, I'm going to start off by asking you always, like, what do you think about what you wrote now, a year later, or a little over a year since you actually wrote it? What comes to mind? Would you have written the same thing? Talk to me.
I mean, I agree with like the overall premise, and I think I would have definitely written about that. Again, like maybe went into more specifics of like, I don't know what that actually looks like, rather than speaking in like umbrella term like ways. I don't know. I think I could have gone into more specifics, and I think that like the reflections and responses of mine that I like the most are where I tie in myself or my own experience or something that I like, some anecdote, like some actual example story experience. So I like do think that I could have done something with this one. I'm not too sure at the moment what that would have been, but I think like some sort of story, like anecdote to like as like a through line through that would have been better. But yeah,
just to give it roots, right? Because a concept can blow in the wind, but with a story, an anecdote, a piece of evidence, an example, right? That helps the concept stay standing or keeps it memorable or reinforces it. Classic argumentation, right? The major premise and minor premise or claim statement supported by evidence. But what I've got to say about this snack, unless you've got any questions for me real quick, is I just wanted to go back to visual here and sharing screen. When we look at the integrity game, 10 a building, bridge, or tunnel will collapse under pressure. Structural integrity, same thing like shoelaces give the shoe structural integrity, so things achieve their purpose, etc. So using that frame, each of these points on the model has questions behind it. And so when we get here to the fourth point on the model, we see SMART goal setting. And never mind that, like in our model, when I learned SMART, it had one A. So I added an A and changed the R to focus on behavioral change. That's not the point. The point, though, is that it's so important. Goal setting gets its own point on the model. And we use a chronological time frame when we go up to like potential right here. potential is like this great word until it gets used in a sentence, like you're not living up to, or you're not reaching, or why are you wasting your potential? Like we begin to have an adverse, relationship with this word because of how it gets used or how it gets used against us in interesting ways. So we want to make it more accessible. And so when we break potential down into vision, mission, objectives, we think about chronology, right? Vision, what's the farthest out we could possibly see? What do we see? That's a description, right? And then a mission is still quite a ways away, a couple years, right? But just not as far out. And it's an achievement, an accomplishment. It's a destination, an arrival. And then objectives are annual. What are my annual objectives? So this is the time of year where it's, if you haven't already, you want to be looking forward to 2026, right? What vision do I have for my life? I'm on a mission to do what, which means I need to achieve what in 2026. So having said that, goals become like the quarterly milestones towards those annual objectives, Q1, Q2. So in addition to setting 2026 objectives, we want to be thinking about, what do I want to achieve by April 1st in order to feel like I'm on my way to meeting my annual objectives? So it's a chronological time frame to a perspective to manage time, manage accomplishment, lay out our plans. All of these KloobySnacks, they're talking about integrity, right? Integrity flavored, but we are in integrity when we are doing what we're meant to do, built to do, on the planet to do, when we're living our purpose, when we're utilizing and optimizing our gifts, when we're striving towards our potential with a quarterly, 90-day cycle, goal focus that keeps us in the cycle of achievement, etc. And I teach this. I'm not, I'm a human being. I'm not perfect, right? I strive to get better and have more integrity in my life. But when we're talking about goal setting, I just wanted to set this perspective of where it sits in the integrity game framework. It's very important. It has its own point on the model. And the part that I didn't make up was the S is for specific, the M is for measurable, and the T is for time. That's what changes a goal. That's what distinguishes a goal from a hope, a wish, or a dream. I thought you wrote wonderfully, Abby, when you were talking about like make it happeners versus wish it happeners, right? Mm-hmm. And so the wish it happeners, they won't put the specifics on what they want. They won't put the measurability on what they want, and they won't declare a buy when, and then they never have to be held accountable. They can stay in wanting rather than in pursuing, right? But you talked about the courage to go after what you want, the courage to brave, not the chance that you may not achieve the goal. And that's when you'll make it specific, make it measurable, make it time bound, and then see where the chips fall after that. So what else? What else from you today? I know that you've got one foot out the door, so to speak, because you go ahead.
I wanted to say something about how, like, if I were to write this now, I might add in like another like little category of like the people that the not make it happeners, the wish it happeners, who like, not because they're like, not because of the reasons I listed, but because like not realizing that like your like goal or like whatever is actually like attainable. I think that's something that I've like struggled with a little bit. Like I know that I want something, and it's like, oh, I like understand like this is how you would do that, but like I don't know if it's like a self like worth, whatever it is thing, but like not understand, like not thinking that that's something that you can like actually reach. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like viewing your goals as unattainable, like therefore like not pursuing them, not because like you're like you don't understand how to or like whatever. It's just like, oh, like that's not something within my reach. So I think like I also would have like touched on that.
Well, that's the other. That's the A. The first A in the model is achievable. When you're setting goals, you want to screen for, do I believe I can achieve it? You never want to set goals that are like keeping up with the Joneses or what you've seen somebody achieve on the magazine cover or what social media is telling you. You have to know in your soul that you believe you can achieve it. But just because you believe you can, that's not the same thing as you are guaranteed to, right? So goal setting, a lot of people take it for granted. This KloobySnack is heavy. And, a lot of people confuse a goal with a hope, a wish, or a dream. And then when they're actually willing to set a goal, it's even harder than that, specific and measurable, because ego defense gets in the way. And people like, well, how do I know what to set my goal? How do I know what I believe I can achieve? So a lot of times it takes a soundboard, and it takes somebody that's outside of you to ask you the questions and help you find. I have a concept, for example, Abby, called the threshold of belief, where the example that I use on this is like, imagine if I'm asking like a real estate investor, how many deals did you do last year? And he says 12, or she says 12. I say, all right, what's your goal this year? And they say 18, just because it's a nice clean number, 50% increase. So a coach will hold them accountable to whether or not they believe they can, right? So do you believe, I might say, do you believe you can do 180? And they go, no, I'm not going from 12 to 180. It's like, okay, do you believe you could do 19? Yeah. All right. Do you believe you can do 105? No. Do you believe you could do 20? Well, yeah. 21, maybe. 85, no. 22, maybe. 50, no. And then next, right, get around like in the role play, it's like get around 24. 24, 25? No, I don't think so. I could maybe if I'm lucky and I get good referrals and things happen, maybe I can get to 24. I don't know. 25, I don't know if I believe I could do that. Okay, well, we found the threshold of belief, right? We inched that. Left to their own devices, they might say 18 because it feels safe, it feels comfortable, or a 50% increase is a round number, right?
Mhm.
But just somebody else saying, well, what do you believe you can achieve? Do you think you could do 19, 20? Now, it becomes valuable when I ask that same person, Abby, how much money do you make per deal? And if they say, well, I make about $10,000 per deal, I'm just making up for round numbers. Well, if their goal was 18, they might have gotten to 16, right? But if their goal is 24, they might get to 22, 23. So now I get to say, hey, did I just make you 60 or 70,000 more dollars by holding you accountable to what you really believe? Left to our own devices, we'll let ourselves off the hook. But when confronted with somebody that's skillful about asking questions that inch us towards our potential and our measurability and our beliefs, right, then what we can achieve might be, just a little bit more, right? So the other thing that I wanted to get at is this KloobySnack right here. Never let the possibility of not achieving your goal prevent you from not pursuing it. As long as you believe you could, as long as you believe you might, as long as you believe it's possible, then your behavior will prove yourself correct. We always behave consistent with our belief, or here's another way to say it. 100% of our behavior is preceded by a belief. So if we believe we cannot achieve the goal, then our behavior is going to go ahead and prove us right. We're going to come up with reasons to not try. So we have to make sure we believe that we can achieve it, which is not the same thing as we're guaranteed to achieve it. Because somewhere along the way, if we want new results that we've never achieved before, we're going to have to change behavior. And that's like, wow, that's a whole different can of worms to talk about the behavioral change process. But right now, I'm just trying to address your question about belief. Do I believe I can, right? So that's the A in SMAART goal setting.
Okay.
Yep. All right, well, we've made it. We've made it to last call. Do you have any other comments or questions or jokes or riddles or limericks or haikus? I know that you have one foot out the door, so to speak, because you want to get up to Orange County. You're flying out of John Wayne Airport rather than San Diego, yeah?
I am. I have a red eye. I'm boarding at 8:30 tonight. Landing at 5 in the morning.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you made time to get another installment of KloobySnacks in the can. This is number 48. There's only 4 more left after this week, 49, 50, 51, and 52. So we are sprinting to the finish line of a really incredible project that we've worked on here together. I'm really proud of what we've done, but we got 4 weeks left.
Yep. Crazy.
All right. Travel safe, Abby, and no crumbs left behind. And we'll see you next week for another installment of KloobySnacks.
Bye. Bye-bye.